Hey guys, and welcome back to FollowMid's Gen Update Survival Series. In this episode, we'll be tuning into the Vault-Tec Distress Signal to start off the best of 3 quests. The quest will take us down to the Glowing Sea to uncover the Tesla Cannon. I'll be showing additional points of interest along the way and things to keep in mind as we do this on survival mode. Don't forget to comment, like and subscribe if you're enjoying the series. When we listen to the Vault-Tec Distress Signal, we'll be able to pick up the coordinates and head there to investigate. The Glowing Sea can be very unforgiving, especially on survival mode. Unless you know your way around, I wouldn't suggest heading down there until you're past level 30. Taking RadAway and Rad-X aren't always the best choices due to the onset of illnesses and diseases it brings to your stats. Making it worse are the high level rat scorpions, deathclaws, and bugs that are a pain to kill if you don't have enough action points for bats. So here are some craftable items to replace RadAway and Rad-X should you need to. You can skip to the next chapter to continue on with the quest. The number one thing on this list has to be the refreshing beverages. It removes all rats and cures all addictions, and it quenches thirst as well. You can pop as many cans as you want in the Glowing Sea and buff up your stats without worry. It does require a lot of materials to make, but nothing too overly complicated to find. In the cooking station, you can make mutant hound chops, slightly reducing rats by 50 points. You can also make vegetable soups, which gives you an additional 25 rat resistance. Keep in mind that consuming these while hungry may negate the bonus it provides. This wasn't fixed despite the latest update, so I recommend getting the unofficial Fallout patch once it's fully updated. Console players may need an alternative to it though, as I've been told this mod doesn't work too well with consoles. Since we'll be dealing with a lot of energy damage, especially from the Tesla Cannon and potential Death Squad ambush, it's worth equipping gear with energy resistance and crafting foods like rat scorpion steaks. Power armors by far provide the most resistance to all sorts of damage, including rats, especially when fully upgraded with leaded mods. Keep in mind that getting into a power armor will cancel out the bonuses and legendary effects of the armor you're wearing. And lastly, make sure you have Vertibird grenades, and if you're still relying on RadAway or Rad-X, then it might be worth looking into crafting herbal remedies. They reduce the chances of getting diseases and illnesses by 20%, but you have to consume them before taking RadAway or Rad-X. The flowers required to craft these can be found around the sanctuary area. I made a whole video about it, which you can find on the playlist in the description below. Alright, so with these preparations in mind, we'll go ahead and throw a Vertibird grenade and fly to the nearest location. For me, that's the Somerville settlement at the edge of the Glowing Sea. I found the quest marker a little buggy for this quest, not showing up at times. So just walk south from Somerville Place and head slightly west until you come across these trees. We'll find the corpse of a Vault 95 gunner. Looting the gunner holotape will reveal that the gunners are using Vault 95 Pip-Boys to keep track of a Glowing Sea expedition team. These gunner's corpse has a Pip-Boy attached to his arm, and we have the option to download its data by pressing space. Selecting on the corrupted options will close access, so we can only select the last dated entry. Reading this entry will reveal some inner conflicts within the gunners stationed in Vault 95, and makes mention of a character named Karoni, who's always shy, keeps to himself, and stays in his room playing games on his Pip-Boy all day. Several gunners tease him, they even tried to reprogram an Assaultron to give him a wedgie. And the last prank they pulled on Karoni was spilling weak old Mirelurk soup on his head. Man, that's pretty messed up. So it looks like Karoni might have something to do with this guy being dead. The next Pip-Boy coordinates will take us into the church ruins. I'm barely taking any rat damage, but that's due to having full ranks on the ghoulish and rat resistant perks under the endurance stat. Plus I also have a lot of health points. The church sunk into the soil and there is a large gap on the roof. Shoot the ghouls from here before you head down. Follow the staircase from the top of the chapel and head down to the upper hall. Don't jump down to the main floor, but follow the pathway to the other side. By these crates we'll find the church safe key. There is an office duties note on this desk that tells you where to find the key. Since we already have them, just go ahead and open the safe. Now we can head down to the main floor. And before inspecting the gunner's corpse, we'll head straight to the exit to grab a steamer trunk, some suitcases, and a duffel bag filled with valuable pre-war money. This gunner's corpse also has a Pip-Boy and we can download its data as well. Selecting the dated entry will reveal that Karoni wasn't good at being a mercenary, but he was good at technical stuff. But that'll change when they sign up for the Gunners and were assigned to a squad. Karoni was very shy and this frustrated his superiors. He said it was a mistake giving him a laser rifle. His shyness and obsession with Pip-Boy games was causing some problems with the squad. It seems like Karoni and this gunner were friends, and Karoni even saved his life at some point, yet here he is dead. So let's get out of here and follow the next set of coordinates to Relay Tower 0DB521. We'll find yet another gunner corpse next to the Relay Tower terminal. So let's download his Pip-Boy data and find out what happened. Checking the dated entry will reveal the identity of this gunner as Lieutenant Zelansky, tech specialist on Salvage Team 20. He's making this entry in case anybody comes across his body, he says. They managed to locate the wreckage almost intact. They underestimated the hostiles and as a result, 2/3 of the platoon is either dead or MIA. He says Karoni saved his life too, but despite his good deed, Karoni would not listen to orders and would anxiously go looking for things to kill, risking bringing more hostiles and compromising the mission. They couldn't hold their position very long and they ran into a nearby cave, where they came across a pre-war weapon. Karoni had taken all the Menteds and was assembling the pre-war weapon. They all got into a scuffle trying to take it away from him. The noise attracted more hostiles and they all had to scatter, running for their lives. Karoni ran off with the weapon, firing it aimlessly into the glowing sea. Lieutenant Zelansky barely made it out and tried using the relay tower to call for help. So that explains why we saw all the gunner corpses scatter around the glowing sea. Right after reading this entry, several butterflies will come out of his corpse. Although we can't pick up the precise Pip-Boy coordinates and won't have a quest marker to help us out, we can pick up the gunner signal remnant, which will beep faster and faster the closer we get to it. The game does give us a big clue. Extending this relay tower will allow us to pick up the Skylens 1665 distress signal, which is exactly where we need to go, located southwest from here. There's a few things you can grab off this location. Go down to the cargo area to loot the suitcases and proceed to the hidden compartment. It requires master lockpicking. In it you'll find a variety of big value items along a Skyland smuggling manifest. Head up to the seating area to find a secret storage compartment. You'll find a circuit breaker that deactivates the Mayday distress signal. You'll also find more suitcases, junk, and glowing fungus. You can also head up to the cockpit to collect the flight data recorder. There's an additional seating area on the right wing of the plane. It has a circuit breaker that deactivates the flashing red lights and a steamer trunk. There's additional suitcases and loot around the rest of the plane as well. Following the gunner signal remnant, we'll find several burning ash piles, which turn out to be the remnants of the gunner's expedition team. The signal will lead us to one last gunner corpse. Downloading his Pip-Boy data says that they accomplished their mission. They found the pieces intact and were getting ready to bring them back to Vault 95, when they saw Karoni blasting blue lighting from a weapon he had hoisted over his shoulder. He was ordered to stand down, but Karoni didn't listen and kept blasting. He almost ran off, but after a scuffle they managed to hold him down. They kept him alive to bring him back to Vault 95, so Command knows what happened here. And considering everybody's dead, it looks like Karoni managed to escape and finish off the rest of the expedition team. As soon as you put the Pip-Boy down, Karoni himself will ambush you with the Tesla cannon. He's not heavily armored, so he's easy to kill. Looting the Tesla cannon will complete the best of 3 quests. Karoni's corpse will have some fusion cells and mentats. Downloading his Pip-Boy data will reveal his one and only entry that reads, "Time for round 2. If you haven't dealt with the Death Squad, be prepared for them to ambush you anytime now. Get on the Birdie Bird and fly back to your base to save your progress. The Tesla cannon is an incredibly OP weapon. It uses fusion cells, so the ammo is easy to get. I fully upgraded it and went around to test it. I also added a jetpack to my Exo 2 power armor, but the models got bogged on third person. It's just floating in place, completely detached from the power armor frame. Even the Tesla cannon reload animation is bugged when you play in third person as well. What a bummer. You can one-shot most enemies, but it was struggling against high-level enemies like this behemoth. That could also be because I haven't put any perk points on the heavy gunner rank. Anyways, I hope you guys found the video helpful. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching.